everybody and welcome to CFC Fan TV. Now, as the boys are away, I think they're on a stag do in Ibiza, so I'm sure they're having a great time. I've seen some pictures of Charlie and he looks a little bit sunburned, but he is very pale, so I do feel a little bit sorry for him. Rory looks all happy. I spoke to him today. They're having a great time out there and I think they're back tomorrow, so that's great news for you guys, the channel. Maybe me not so much, you know, a lot of aggravation. No, I'm joking. We're all very good friends. But yeah, they'll be back this week, like I said, hopefully tomorrow. So I thought I'd do a video with you today on some recent news that's come out in the press about Courtois, and he's apparently said that he feels very sad by the backlash that he's received from Chelsea fans since he moved to Real Madrid. A lot of it I can understand from Chelsea fans, if I'm being honest, and I'm not going to feel sorry for Courtois when I think the fact that he left actually isn't the problem. I think it's the way that you leave and your attitude whilst you're at the club. Now, I think everyone knows that the reason he wanted to leave was because he said that he wanted to be closer to his children, and obviously when a top club like Real Madrid want you, of course you are then going to jump at the chance to move. But I think the way he went around it, and I think it all stems from the last few years, all he's ever said is, I really want to leave, I really want to leave. So if you really want to leave that badly, then eventually something's got to give. And I think in the end we decided to let him go, and obviously we now have the world's most expensive goalkeeper, and we hope that in the long term he'll prove as to why he is the world's most expensive goalkeeper, 70 million. But yeah, I think him wanting to be closer to his children, Courtois this is, I think that's more than understandable. I think you have to handle it in a very certain way when you're dealing with a fan base, and Chelsea Football Club is not a bad club, and I think that's why fans got so mad, because they see Courtois as making out as if, you know, we're not a good enough club for him, and that really isn't the case. I think from the club's perspective, in the end, they had no choice but to let him go because he was protesting that he wanted to leave. And why Courtois can't understand why we would all be angry is a little bit beyond me, because if I was a member of Chelsea Football Club in charge of employing him, whether I was a member of the board, whoever, I'd be more mad, because I think Courtois was brought in as a long-term replacement for Petr Cech. He wasn't meant to be at the club for only 3, 4, 5 years. He was meant to be a long-term signing. I think they were definitely looking at having him for the next 7, 8 years. And I think the whole point of us signing Kepa and giving him a 7-year contract is to take him up till he's the age of 30, because we do only want to change our keeper every so often. And I think Courtois leaving caused nothing but a lot of hassle. And I think, like I say, when you leave and you know that you're causing a bit of an upset, there are just ways to go around it. And unfortunately, his actions just, in my opinion, weren't very respectful. So Courtois, he did raise one good point, I would say. He said that a lot of fans think that, you know, he wasn't reporting to training up in August and things like that, but he's saying the deal went through in March and he didn't think it would be appropriate for him to turn up to training. He thought it might create a certain, you know, a toxic energy, or, you know, not have a very positive energy around the squad. And I completely agree with that. Do I think it would have been that bad? No. I mean, he plays for Belgium, he plays alongside Hazard and Batshuayi, even though Batshuayi's out on loan. So I don't really think that it would have been that bad, but I do understand that maybe it wasn't appropriate for him to turn up to training, you know, as he has already left, and I think that's completely fine. So that's actually not something that I'm mad about. I think when he actually left to go to Real Madrid, the whole him kissing the badge and, you know, just it was a little bit more like he was throwing it in our faces, when actually he should be privileged to have had the chance to play for Chelsea. And more so than that, when he came to Chelsea, we gave up our goalkeeper of 10, 11 years, Petr Cech. You know, he was our long-term goalkeeper, and even when he went to Arsenal, I don't think Petr Cech has received the same backlash, because it's the way he went. And obviously Cech had no reason to stay at Chelsea anymore, because he knew he wasn't going to be first choice. But I don't, and if I was Petr Cech, I would have been a little bit mad myself that I'd been pushed out. But I think Cech handled himself very gracefully. And although he went to our North London rivals, and there are some Chelsea fans that don't approve of that, you have to accept the fact that he was very gracious in the way he left, and I don't think this is anything compared to Courtois' behaviour. I think, like I said, kissing the badge, protesting that you really want to leave, whether it's to see your kids or not. You play for a very good team. You've always been a favourite amongst Chelsea fans. I don't think up until probably the last 6 months of his Chelsea career, I don't think I heard many bad words being said about Courtois amongst the fans when I do the interviews. So I don't know if I buy the whole, it makes me sad that Chelsea fans don't appreciate the way I left or that don't like me anymore. Because what does he expect? When you put on that sort of performance, when you're that desperate to leave and you're kissing the badge and you're doing all these sorts of things, that's only going to aggravate fans from your former club. So I don't know what you guys think. Comment below and let me know your thoughts. I just thought I would do a video out on it, and maybe we'll go out and ask some fans at the next home game what they think of Courtois, and we'll upload that video for you, because it would be nice to get sort of a mixed reaction. But I don't think with Courtois, I don't think he understands it. It's actually not. It's not the reason he left. It's how he left the club. And unfortunately, when you have a huge fan base and you play for a massive club like Chelsea Football Club, you are going to receive that sort of response if you show any signs of disrespect. So those are my thoughts on the situation. Comment below. What do you think of Thibaut Courtois? Do you blame him for leaving? Are you happy he's gone? I personally, I'm really happy with our new keeper. I think we haven't seen the best of him yet. I think, of course, throughout the season, especially once he's settled in once January hits, that we'll definitely see a lot more of what he can do. And I hope in our games against City and Liverpool, we do see some world-class saves from him. But yeah, comment below. And if you like this video, of course, please click the subscribe button.